In December 1941, American expatriate Rick Blaine owns a nightclub and gambling den in Casablanca. Rick's Café Americain attracts a varied clientele, including Vichy French and German officials, refugees desperate to reach the still neutral United States, and those who prey on them. Although Rick professes to be neutral in all matters, he ran guns to Ethiopia in 1935 and fought on the Republican side in the Spanish Civil War. Petty crook Ugarte boasts to Rick of letters of transit obtained by murdering 2 German couriers. The papers allowed the bearers to travel freely around German-occupied Europe and to neutral Portugal. Ugarte plans to sell them at the club and persuades Rick to hold them for him. However, Ugarte is arrested by the local police under Captain Louis Renault, the unabashedly corrupt prefect of police. Ugarte dies while in custody without revealing that Rick has the letters. Then, the reason for Rick's cynical nature, former lover Ilse Lund enters his establishment. Spotting Rick's friend and house pianist, Sam, Ilse asks him to play As Time Goes By. Rick storms over furious that Sam disobeyed his order never to perform that song again, and is stunned to see Ilse. She is accompanied by her husband, Victor Laszlo, a renowned fugitive Czechoslovakian resistance leader. A flashback reveals that Ilse left Rick without explanation when the couple were planning to flee as the German army neared Paris, embittering Rick. Laszlo and Ilse need the letters to escape, while German Major Strasser arrives in Casablanca to prevent that. When Laszlo makes inquiries, Signor Ferrari, an underworld figure and Rick's friendly business rival, divulges his suspicion that Rick has the letters. Laszlo returns to Rick's cafe that night and tries to sell them. Rick refuses to sell, telling Laszlo to ask his wife why. They are interrupted when Strasser leads a group of German officers in singing Die Wacht am Rhein. Laszlo orders the house band to play La Marseillaise, and Rick allows it. Patriotism grips the crowd, and everyone joins in, drowning out the Germans. Afterwards, Strasser has La Marseillaise close the club on a flimsy pretext. Later, Ilse confronts Rick in the deserted cafe. When he refuses to give her the letters, she threatens him with a gun, but then confesses she still loves him. She explains that when they met and fell in love in Paris in 1940, she believed her husband had been killed while attempting to escape from a concentration camp. When she learned that Laszlo was alive and hiding near Paris, she left Rick without explanation to nurse her sick husband. Rick's bitterness dissolves. He agrees to help, letting Ilse believe she will stay with him while Laszlo leaves Casablanca. When Laszlo unexpectedly shows up, having narrowly escaped a police raid on a resistance meeting, Rick has waiter Carl spirit Ilse away. Laszlo, aware of Rick's love for Ilse, tries to persuade him to use the letters to take her to safety. When the police arrest Laszlo on a trumped-up charge, Rick persuades Renault to release him by promising to set him up for a much more serious crime, possession of the letters. To allay Renault's suspicions, Rick explains that he and Ilse will use the letters to leave for America. When Renault tries to arrest Laszlo as arranged, however, Rick forces him at gunpoint to assist in their escape. At the last moment, Rick makes Ilse board the plane to Lisbon with Laszlo, telling her she would regret it if she stayed. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life. Strasser, tipped off by Renault, drives up alone. Strasser attempts to stop the plane and then draws a gun on Rick. The latter shoots him dead. When policemen arrive, Renault pauses and then orders them to round up the usual suspects. He suggests to Rick that they join the Free French in Brazzaville. As they walk away into the fog, Rick says to Louis, "Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship."